This video is intended for mature audiences. I do not condone the use of drugs, legal or illegal. You're responsible for your own decisions. This video is for entertainment purposes only.
Let me come again.
How's it going, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood activity here, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me on a trip. And this was like when I mixed like a bunch of substances. Had no idea what the effects were of mixing them, but I did it anyways because I'm a baller. No, don't actually do this. I mean, it was cool for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to be cool for you. Don't do drugs in K. They're bad in K. So, this was the time that I'm trying to remember exactly how much I took, because it's kind of a blur. Like, I just kind of kept taking substances. What happened was, I had three things. I had a bag of Hawaiian baby wood rose. They're pretty much, if you don't know what they are, they're seeds that contain LSA, which is what LSD is synthesized from, but they're very different and whatnot. But LSA is still a very potent fucking drug, psychedelic. And so the recommended dose for a strong trip is 10 seeds. And I only took about 6 seeds. Like, I chewed them up, swallowed them down the hatch. And about 2 hours go by, and I'm feeling okie dokie. And I'm not really tripping. Like, I mean, kind of. Like, you know, probably like half a tab of acid would do. So I also had like 4 2CB pills. And I invited my friend over. I'm not going to mention his name. Oh, I just kicked my desk. That was not good. God damn it. There's flies. Go away. So, friend A came over and he took 3 seeds. And, you know, we waited for him to kick in. And then I took one 18 milligram 2CB pill. And he was kind of a scaredy cat, because he's pretty prone to having bad trips. He doesn't know how to let go and enjoy the experience and kind of ignore the side effects. Like, these side effects always get the better of him. And then I give him some headphones, put on some music, and he's fine. But I probably should have done this in the first place, because there's a lot of stupid shit that we did. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I snorted a pill of 2CB, making it a total of 18 milligrams snorted and 18 milligrams orally, for a grand total of 36 milligrams. I can do math. And that would be 6 Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds plus 36 milligrams of 2CB. Okay, so he decides to take half of a 2CB pill, and he does it. And then I'm like, once 2CB kicks in, I'm like tripping like an alright amount, like probably about a tab and a half, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I've got a tab of acid, why not? And so I cut it in half. It was a 200 microgram tab, so this is like 2 tabs of regular dosed LSD. I cut it in half, and we each took half. Or pretty much a whole tab. And then I snorted another pill of 2CB. And I pretty much talked him into taking a whole pill of 2CB. I was like, well, if you're doing this now, you better go all out. And, you know, he did it. And so we decide, once it kicks in, like, we're freaking having an amazing trip. Like, well, except for him, he's kind of freaking out a little bit. He's on the couch, and I'm looking at his head, and I see like a demon, like, on the wall. Like, it wasn't really like scary kind of demon. It was like more like an artistic kind of thing. Like, you know those LSD paintings where people paint demons? It kind of looked like that, but it was kind of moving and shifting. And it was like making this creepy face at my friend. It was right above his head while he was like had his eyes closed on the couch. And I was like, oh my god. So I focused all of my positive energy into my hand as much as I could, and then pushed it towards my friend, and I saw this like white light just like hit my friend, and he went from frowning and moaning and to like happiness. Like, he was smiling, he's going, like he was relieved, and the demon turned into an angel above his head. And this was kind of the start of the telepathic behavior between us, like communicating without communicating. After that happened, we were linked somehow in this trip. Like, I don't know what that did, but that linked us somehow. Like, my energy crossing over to his, and this sounds really like pseudoscience, to be honest, but it happened. That's all I can tell you. I can't explain it. I don't know why, but it happened. And so he's feeling fine again, and so we go for a drive. Yeah, he drives, and because he took less than me, so no, it still wasn't a good idea. But we're going really slow because we're kind of paranoid. But it was really beautiful to look at all of the plant life and shit outside. So what happens is I'm like, dude, like, I keep hearing you in my head. And he's like, dude, I keep hearing you in my head. I was like, okay, let's test this out. I said, I'm going to think of a number between 1 and 100, and I'm going to, like, focus it towards you, and I want you to say it. And he's like, okay. And so I focus as hard as I can on that number going into his brain, and it takes about 6 seconds before he says the number. It was something like, let's say it's 23. I'm like, 23 in my head. And then he goes, 23. And I go, holy fucking shit. And I go, okay, that doesn't prove anything. So we do this about 10 more times, and he gets it right every time. And it takes him less and less time to actually say it as we go. So we're freaking out. Like, I'm actually happy. I'm like, this is cool. And he's like, no, this is not okay. What's going on here? So we go back in the house, and we're laying on my bed, and we're just looking at the ceiling, having the fucking craziest trip. And I decide that it would be a good idea to just sit in complete darkness. He objects to this, and I'm like, no, dude, it's fine. It's cool, dude. It's like, trust me, all your fears, once you do this, all your fears are gone. Because that's what happened to me, was like, I was so afraid of the dark on psychedelics before I finally forced myself to sit in a room in complete and total darkness, and I was just astonished by the beauty of everything around me. And so I turned off all the lights, and my friend looks at I think this happened to me in another trip, but it was kind of different. I was looking at this hook thing in my ceiling, and the hook thing starts dancing and moving into like a snake. You can see the eyes, and you can see it opening its mouth. And I look at it, and I start seeing it too. And I'm like, whoa. And he's like, it's gonna kill me. And it's like morphing out of the wall. Like, the wall starts breathing as it comes closer and closer towards us. And I just kind of welcome it. I'm like, come here, buddy. And he's like, get away from me. and I just remember, like, he started trying to get out of the room. He was trying to figure out where the door was, but it was pitch black. Like, all we could really see was the curtains and that hook, because it was right by the curtains. And there was, like, just a tiny bit of light coming from the curtains, like this little speck of light from, like, I guess the moon or something. And so he's running around the room freaking out while I'm just in awe at this snake. And it's starting to form, like, patterns around it. Like, you know how some snakes have, like, diamond patterns on them and stripe patterns and all this? It was, like, changing into these different patterns. And so I'm like, that's cool, but I'm bored now. So I look up at the wall, or at the ceiling, and I see this vortex of color. And I like start thinking to myself again, okay, this worked the first time when my friend was freaking out, maybe it'll work now. So I focus all my positive energy again, this time as literally hard as I can, into my hands. Like, every bit of positive energy inside my body, I focus into my hands, and I shoot it at my friend. And my friend falls to the ground. Just flat out falls to the ground. And, like, doesn't make sounds, doesn't move, just is almost in, like, he's sleeping. That's what it looked like to me, is that he was sleeping. I didn't think much of it. I thought that he's probably having ego death or something like that, so I just, decided to let him have that and have it happen. Like, there's nothing you can really do about it. And my trip ended. When I did that, my trip was gone. Boom. Tripping is really hard to just no trip. Instantly. And so, I go to sleep, and then my friend starts waking me up, and he's like, dude, I just had the craziest dream of my life. I was like, dream? And he was like, yeah, dude, I don't know, like, I don't even remember falling asleep, but I woke up, and I realized that I just dreamed. And he told me this elaborate story about how he went back to his childhood when he was like 8 years old, and like had all his memories and had his adult strength as an 8-year-old, and how he was fucking like beating up bullies and shit, and you know, getting straight A's in school, and it was just a great time, and it lasted like 4 days or something like that, he said. And then he killed a kid like on accident because they were playing rough with each other, and apparently he didn't know his own strength, so he was kind of squeezing the kid's neck a little bit, and his eyes popped out of his head. And he said he grabbed his eyeballs and he threw them in the teacher's backyard, and like tried to make it seem like the teacher did it, and that's when he snapped back into reality. And I was just like, what does it mean? And I was like, I don't know, but that's pretty fucking weird. And so that's pretty much it. Like, there's probably more to it than that, but I really can't remember it all that well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this trip story. But I'll see you guys later. This is Activity signing out, and bye! Don't forget to like and subscribe.